Yay! I found the perfect spot to prop myself, and it's gonna be really loud with the background noise, but this is where I'm sharing another video. Welcome to today's video, and I share about topics of spiritual wellness, using the spirit realm, and connecting with your inner self as a way to navigate your life, helping you come back to balance and being more at peace with who you are, and aligned with the version of life that is true to your heart and to your core and feels really good and nourishing, fulfilling, and abundant. And then also I share about other things, but this is the theme of this video. But so today, what I wanted to talk about is energetic boundaries, but I'd like to call it more like energetic. Oh, there's a word I came up with the other day. What was it? It's basically self-love. So the word boundary I'm not really happy with, but there's another word, maybe it'll come to me later, that I thought of that's more loving and like compassionate feeling. And the reason why I'm bringing up this topic today, especially for if you are someone who maybe you're in a place where you're like connecting with a creative project that's a little open-ended, or if you're someone that identifies or is starting to realize that you are pretty empathic or highly sensitive. Maybe you feel emotions of others just more clearly, more deeply, and I'm one of those people as well, and figuring out how to know my no's and my yeses and be honest with myself and honest with others has been a journey, and I'm just still learning a lot. But there's some nuggets of wisdom that I've come across recently that I wanted to share about, and also be like a reminder for you, if you're curious to get some second opinions, second thoughts to help you if that's something you're going through. So, I wish I could think of the word. Basically, I'll start with this. We create our world with our yeses and our nos. And the important thing is, especially as an empath and someone who's sensitive with a kind heart that wants to like help others, is you also have to uphold that yes and no within your own focus, within what you put your energy towards. And that can even be in your thoughts, in the conversations you engage with. And I'm still learning how to be compassionate in those clear places of where I bring focus and how to transition out of it, as my family might, if you are in my family and you watch this, you know. But sometimes it does have to be cold and direct and blunt and uncomfortable. And I think I've gotten to a point where I'm learning how to be a little more like that, especially if my needs are not being respected or honored as what I know I need for my well-being and my balance. Because especially if you're someone who also maybe with these extra senses, you are more open to psychic information, or maybe you want to utilize that gift to create art, create writing, to bring it into your life in a more meaningful way. Maybe you have a desire to be a healer, to serve others in some sort of more spiritual capacity or creative capacity, whatever it might be. This is a really important lesson I've learned just through life, that you can utilize, and you'll have to learn to utilize, so that you have the spaciousness to bring forward whatever it is you're creating and doing. For me, I do need a lot of like alone time. And this is also if you're an introvert, like I'm an introvert. So my energy gets refueled by spending time by myself and in the nourishing company of usually nature. and others that are also in balance with and empowering to whatever I'm already bringing to the table. Um, so coming back to the yeses and the nos, um, it's best to be honest earlier on. And I feel like this past year, I've had chances and opportunities every step. I've like learned another deeper lesson about how to communicate and be straightforward rather than avoiding communication of when I can and cannot be of help to someone or available, or if maybe it's just not something I want to do for like even social activities. Um, and remembering the lessons you learn. So, for example, if you have an experience with someone, or in a space, or in a dynamic, in a work environment, in a job, that you remember you've learned your lesson, you're like, okay, this type of environment is not for me. Or it can be for me, but I have to be really particular about when and how I am in that space, the time frame, the structure, and all of those details are really important so that you can be your fullest self within that structure, within that form. So it's like you're creating your masculine structure to help you be in your feminine embrace, like embodiment and fullness. You have to set those parameters for yourself and to communicate them properly to others so that they know. But at the same time, I've learned, like, once you set certain parameters or speak what you need, if it's not being honored, then that's also really important to know and take note of, and to be cutthroat with what you're available for and what you're not. And even if it means having less of someone in your life, at the end of the day, being drained and being numb in your head or unhealthy, not connected to your body, that's taking so much more of a toll than the pleasing of this other person or letting them convince you to change what you have spoken and what your needs are. But on the other side of it, you have to also be really strong in your inner self, in your voice, in your what you know is good for you and what it's not, and stick to it and not react to their reaction. Just let them react, and just breathe and be aware that it may bring up some side of someone that's coming from the ego, maybe coming from survival mode, or is coming from like fight or flight reaction. And it is important, and I'm working on cultivating the belief that the people in my inner circle will be able to hold space and respect those needs and boundaries, and will not even need an explanation. They just understand. So there's really nuanced elements and dynamics in relationships that come up, especially if you're highly sensitive. You can feel those nuances. And someone who is used to you being very giving and open to say yes whenever it's needed, will take time and may never actually, potentially, be able to respect and understand that. So you have to be the strong leader of that dynamic, kind of like the captain of your own ship, and just be ready to continue to reinforce whatever it is your needs are, whatever it is you're no longer available for. And this comes up, it can be especially challenging for situations where maybe you're thinking about a specific job type, like type of job environment, or a team environment with a certain type of people. And if you know it's not good for you, working on the belief that there is something else that's available that's going to give you that same level of financial income, financial support and stability, that's a place that I'm continuing to work on as well. So that's the switch that creates this kind of like in between space. When you say a no, there's not going to be a yes immediately after necessarily. And so there has to be this kind of like, you have to be prepared for this time period where maybe nothing's happening, or you don't know what next would happen to take in its place the yes. But what you can do is you can energetically connect with a sensation of what does that yes feel like, and breathe in that feeling and let that be what fills the space from the no. Because basically, something I've learned from someone else, there's a vacuum. So when you say no and you let something go, that thing can come back in very easily through your thoughts, through your own habits of what you tend to do that brings in the energy of that thing. And you have to personally be really strict with yourself and be like, no, I said no to that dynamic. And so I have to be really upholding that for myself first before I, expect it from others too. And instead filling it with the vision or the imagination of, or the use your imagination, use your like pretending skills of what it is that's taking its place, and let that be what fills you up. And for me, I can't do specifics. I connect more with like feeling. So it could be like a feeling of feeling really comforted in my body and really at ease in my body and in my heart space and relaxed. And at the same time, while I'm in this relaxed, centered space of just delicious feeling like I can also be connecting with, witnessing all the miracles around me that are creating a beautiful place for me to live, and money flow into my bank account so that I have the money to invest into high quality, locally grown, just good feeling foods, and invest into my health and the equipment I need for that, like the protein powder or the running shoes. And it's sometimes this jump between the no and the yes will take time and layers of shifting your beliefs and remembering to expand and let your thoughts be more open to the possibility, limitless possibility, rather than notice when your thoughts come back to limitation of thinking, oh, but how am I gonna get to that next place? And like, is that even possible? And then feeling like giving up, feeling like giving in. That's normal to feel, but continue to come back to the sensation of being in your body. And we can do this together right now too. Relaxing your jaw and the muscles around your chest. Letting your breath be what lifts your heart space up, and your exhale is what anchors you down into the earth. And as your thoughts wiggle around, just notice them start to kind of like slowly stay back, more centered into this space right here, this moment here. And breathe into the quietness for as long as you can. Breathe into the stillness of the from scattered to stillness. Call in all of yourself, you can say your name, all of Erica Julia Torres. I'm calling back to this moment here and now from any place or space, connection. I love you. Thank you for everything you've shown to me. Thank you for your gifts. And now I come back to bring all of that connection back to me here. Everything that I seek is already available to experience from within. I am complete and taken care of in this moment. In this moment, I am breathing. My heart is beating. And I can create the sensation of peace and safety. As I relax my muscles, the tension created from the feeling of fight or flight, I'm coming back to stating that I have the right to be here now and feel at ease. And the people around me, the place around me is here to protect and honor that ease, to respect and see and understand my own boundaries for peace. So another example of shifting your belief to create a sense of safety in your place of where you are is, what if some part of you is constantly thinking about the person that might come by and it might feel awkward if they hear you? These are the things that I'm currently stretching my comfort space, to do these videos out in public more, and knowing that I might be approached or interrupted. I used to feel really shy and always try to hide because I didn't want to be approached or seen or interacted with in a way that I felt uncomfortable. And I was so scared to experience the discomfort of what might happen, that by shining and being myself and happy and comfortable in my body, that I would actually create my own tension in my body, my own experience of fear. But the more you sit with those beliefs, those fears, and over time, you'll feel more neutral to that possibility. If someone does approach you, or if whatever way you're scared that your space will be interrupted, or your peace will be disrupted, that the more you're able to flow and be flexible to how things evolve in the moment, no matter what happens, the more you're going to be able to come back to that state of ease in your body, no matter where you are in public, and or in your home if you have people you live with. Yeah, that's something I don't know if everyone experiences, but I know I did a lot and still do in different ways. Self-consciousness is like another way to call it, being self-conscious, or knowing that the outfit you're choosing to wear, it's like the one that you like lights you up and you feel good about yourself and you like look good. And but at the same time, what if the thought comes up? This thought used to come up more, but this thought sometimes still comes up of like the attention it might attract, that is that okay, or am I being too vain, or all of these thoughts that limit me. But what about the original spark of excitement and joy that brought you to pull that outfit out in the first place? And even if it does show a little bit more of your body than maybe what some people might be comfortable with, we have to own it for ourselves, because the most important thing is about you and what's bringing you joy, and what's being nourishing to yourself, and like a way to express yourself, all of you, because we're here to express and experience ourselves through this body, and whatever way we feel drawn to do that, that's connected with our soul and our heart. And usually it's a path forward when you feel that like little inner child's excitement and curiosity and play. And yeah, those are just some other side notes about the tangent that I went on. So I think I could leave it there. The last thing I'll say is I haven't been making videos for the past couple months. There was a lot that I just like that came up for me that I've been navigating in myself, in my dynamics with people that I'm around and family, and having really clear yeses and nos with them, and letting that all settle down. And now I said the no I needed to say so that I could have, because I knew that the thing I was committed to was not actually benefiting me for what I need to do here, which is share online, make art, and there's just so much that's like ready to be created. And for me, that does require energetic space for that. And for example, yesterday I recorded a video, and today I'm recording a video, and I just have more inspiration and energy to share some of these things that I hope and intend to spark something in someone else, so that we can all just be living more abundantly and in balance with who we are from the inside out. And I want to thank this place here. And I was doing some research on Vermont and the origin of the name. The name is comes from the French word Green Mountains. So it's interesting to think about the names we use for certain places. And the lake itself is named after this French explorer, and who came here as a part of the colonization of this land. And the land itself has so much more to speak for itself if we just listen and recognize that the land has a voice, and the place we are has a voice, and we're guests here. And we have to respect the place that we are living as guests. And knowing that we're sharing this space with so many people and creatures and types of people too, because not everyone is going to be the form of expression that's more of light, or however you want to say it, but maybe their form of expression is they're just here in they're more deeper in their dark. And I think shaming one side versus the other is never healthy, but just knowing that the best thing is for us to come back to ourself as a form of our own safety and stability, rather than seeking outside of ourselves and whatever resources that may be used to exploit something outside of ourselves for that what we can already create and have within ourselves. um, and yeah, I just think we're all shifting out of like survival. And the other thing with energetic boundaries is knowing what you engage with, it creates more of that. And so if you're engaging with and constantly accepting someone's invitation or attempt to pull you into their drama, into their, maybe they're kind of feeling low and they just want you to come down with them, like, it's okay to be saying no to that, and you have to be really clear and strict with yourself about what is your inner guide saying for that moment. And so I'll just end the video there, and we'll talk again.